We all know of that one friend who deletes their social media when exams are nearing, right? I have been victim of that too. And in this video, I wanted to talk about just that. And also, I've been thinking of this idea of letting you download some of these images for free if you like. So stick around for that till the end of this video to know. It wasn't because of exams. Back in 2019, I deleted my Instagram, which had over 250 posts, and before I realized it, it was gone forever. And I have only regretted that decision of mine ever since. Those early pictures were mostly taken on my phone. Those are not good pictures by any means. When I look at those pictures, I mostly see overly edited photos, complex compositions, weird angles, and all that. But in a way, that those pictures were very meaningful to me, and at least it is meaningful to me now, in the sense that it shows my journey that led up to this point today. And if I could, I would happily pay to restore that account back, but that's not possible, unfortunately. Those pictures kind of validates the work that I do today. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about mediocrity and perfectionism in my photos. We've all had those moments where we wanted to post a photo or a video, but we have stopped ourselves because maybe the lighting wasn't right on our pet space, or the flower's petal were a little crooked, or the horizon wasn't perfectly leveled, or there was a stray wire in the background that we couldn't edit out. Maybe the focus missed just by hair, or the colors weren't what we imagined, or the photo just didn't feel Instagram worthy. And when I say we, I mostly mean me. I'm miserably failing at trying not to be a perfectionist myself. But who am I kidding? My photos are mediocre at best. They aren't perfect. Neither the lighting, nor the composition, nor the camera. Actually, the camera is perfectly fine. It's probably my skill issue. And yet when somebody says, "Oh, that's a nice picture. You must have a nice camera," there's a tiny moment where the perfectionist in me wants to just believe it. With tiny blush, I say, "Oh, thank you, you're being generous." But deep down, that inner voice in my head whispers, "Shameless idiot." But in all that rant, what I'm really trying to say is my photos are mediocre at best. Maybe that's the imposter syndrome in me talking, but I can't help comparing my work to others like Cody Michelle, Sean Tucker, James Popsis, Peter McKinnon, and so on. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. Why won't I? These are the photographers who inspire me the most. They are at the top of their game, the kind of photographers I look up to. And most of what I share and talk about on this channel, I've learned from these people over time. The goal, though, isn't to copy their work. It is to creatively steal inspiration from their work, as Kleon puts beautifully in his book, Steal Like an Artist. Highly recommended, by the way. I didn't have a clear goal in mind when I started off back in 2015. I was simply fascinated by cameras, and I would walk around taking pictures of anything that I would find interesting. Over time, it naturally became a habit that stuck with me. And I only realized it as a habit when I first read the book The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. Currently, I'm reading this book, Atomic Habit by James Clear. And let me read you a paragraph from this book that inspired me to make this video in the first place. It goes like, Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habit multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. It is only when looking back 2, 5, or perhaps 10 years later that the value of good habits and the cost of bad ones becomes strikingly apparent. And I'll put the graph on the screen that says if you can get just 1% better each day, you will end up with results that are nearly 37 times better after 1 year. It is difficult to quantitatively measure your improvements when you're taking picture. How do you define a good picture? Is it the performance based on social media, or is it the price that you get to sell your pictures for? Certainly, that has some impact, but it is also important to understand, and something I took my fair time to understand as well, is photos are deeply personal. Sure, there is right composition, better light, better editing, but eventually it all comes down to what story does your photo tell? When I look back, I can see my focus has shifted from taking pictures of random interesting subjects to deliberately framing the composition in an attempt to tell a story by changing different compositions, different lightings, edits, and so on. I can only influence so much to the story of the picture. However, the major control is in the eyes of the viewer itself. The same picture may remind you of a nice time that you had in the past, or a holiday, or some of your loved ones. But to others, it could be just a random picture on the internet, and that is perfectly fine too. As a result, the performance of the picture is very hard to measure based on how it performs on social media. And it is hard to put a number to your growth over time. You all know Mr. Beast, and I love a piece of advice from him. He says, make your first 100 videos and work on improving your skill on each of them. And I can see how that applies to pretty much everything in life. Remember I told you about I deleted my Instagram account that had over 250 pictures? Those pictures were bad anyway, but it helped me develop the skill that I have today. And I wish I could bring those back. So here's my takeaway from all this. Even though my work feels mediocre and bad at times, it is important to put it on a timeline so that I can see my growth myself. And I want to get this right, as I say. Hitting the publish button frees my mind. It calms down the storm that I have in my mind all the time. It gently nudges me forward, inching towards perfection that I seem to be chasing. Maybe I'll never reach perfect, or maybe I will. And when I do, I'll probably be disappointed. And that's why it is important for me to enjoy the process, enjoy being mediocre. So with this video out in the world, I'm taking another baby step towards making those perfect photos that I see in my mind every day. And in the cases where I can't tell the story just with the picture, I hope I can fill some of those gaps with these videos. Now I'm curious, have you ever felt the same way too? I cannot be the one in this journey by myself. If you do, I'd love to know about how you deal with those mental battles in your head. Maybe tell me about a hobby that you picked up long time ago and how you have improved over time without even noticing. By the way, if you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much. For the last couple of weeks, as I was preparing for these videos, I was wondering if you'd like to download some of these pictures in full resolution to use as a wallpaper maybe. If that sounds like something you'll enjoy, drop a comment and I'll leave the download link in the description. Alright, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Please like, share and subscribe. I'm Sushil Chaurasia signing off. Take care.